Hey guys, Willie here. It's been a long time since I've been excited about a product like this for glamping, overlanders, camping, emergency preparedness. It kind of fits all that category. Not since the Cara World 2023 BTU indoor kerosene heater have I been this excited. I got this. I'm enjoying it. I've been playing with it. I'm going to show you. Is it for everybody? No. But it's something, do you need? No, but it makes life a lot easier if you do. Anyways, let's take a look at it. What is this? Astro AI portable freezer slash refrigerator. My goodness. And why am I excited about this? Well, I'm going to tell you how good this thing is. I've been playing with it and then I'm actually going to show you how good it is. So to start off, I used to do a lot of glamping, a lot of in-car camping, a lot of whatever, and I would take the cooler full of ice, and a couple days you'd have to go get more ice. I went through Coolatrons. I went for those ones that you plug in. They just have the fan to keep the temperature a little bit chillier than what the ambient temperature is. They don't work worth a shit. I had Dometics. This thing, in my opinion, tops them all. This company, Astro AI, they've been around for a while. They're from California. They've specialized in automotive products, automotive tools. They made mini fridges for a long time for like the big rigs, 18-wheelers. They've now made this unit and one's bigger though. This is the smallest version of it. They make these for your glamper, your overlander, your emergency preparedness person. They're great because they operate on a 45-degree angle and they're so energy efficient, isn't funny. So let's talk about the specs a little bit. I'm not going to get into the actual dimensions, the size. I can throw cans of pop or something in there to show you. The lid is very on there stiff because there's a double seal gasket that goes on there. It keeps everything in there extremely well insulated. Now, in a minute, I'm going to plug this thing in. I'm going to plug it into a very small Jackery. And what we're going to do, we're going to measure the room temperature here. It's whatever the temperature is in here. It's probably about 75 degrees in here. And we're going to plug it in and we're going to bring it down. We don't even bring it down to -4 Fahrenheit. The range on this is like 70 degrees or 78 degrees Fahrenheit to -4 Fahrenheit. For you people that go in Celsius, well, 32 degrees Fahrenheit is 0 Celsius. That's freezing. -4 Fahrenheit is super duper cold. So this has got no problem keeping stuff frozen. I'm going to plug this in. We're going to see how much power this uses to get from whatever this room temperature is down to 35 Fahrenheit, 4 degrees Celsius, optimal refrigeration temperature. So we'll plug it in, we'll turn it on. I will say, guys, about this thing, the great thing about this unit is not only does it run on 12 volt and 24, it also runs on your AC power. It's AC/DC, comes with the cords for both. When you get a unit like this, obviously because it has a compressor in there, you want to leave it sit upright in the proper position for at least 6 hours so the Freon has a chance to settle back. And ideally, any of these units you buy, Dometic or whatever, if you can cool it beforehand, before you use it, then throw stuff in there and then plug it in, it works better. So what's the best thing about this besides the energy efficiency and how well it works? The fact that it has a mode on here, a safety mode. The safety mode is this. You can set it to low, medium, or high, which means when I have this plugged in, if it's on high, the safety mode's on high, if my battery on my car gets lower than 12.5 volts, this will shut off not to drain my car battery. Medium, 11.5, and low, 10.5. So this means it'll never drain your car battery. Your car will always start if you leave this plugged in. That being said, it's so damn energy efficient that even if it was left for a long time on your car plugged in and your car not running, I don't think you're going to have much of an issue. So I'm going to hook everything up. I'm going to show you. So hold on. All right, I can't find my zapper thermometer gun, but the temperature should show up on here. So basically, room temperature water. Got 6 bottles in there, a few bottles of Perrier. Holds quite a bit. I'm going to be using the 240 Jackery. We're sitting on 100% power right now. It's fully charged. I'm going to shut the lid. And now, let's turn this on. Right now, the internal temperature, I wasn't too far off, is 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's bring this down to 32 Fahrenheit. And now it should be. Compressor should be on, and it should be where I can feel the air on the compressor. Right now, because it's the compressor's on, it's pulling 13.2 volts. On here, 31 watts. So the compressor's on, and right now I'm pulling 31 watts of power to get this cooled down. Now the time is 11:45 on the nose, so let's see how long this takes to get this chilled down. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm 15 minutes in exactly, and I've already dropped to 46. I bumped it up from 32 to 35, that's refrigeration area. 32, I don't want stuff to freeze. On the Jackery, because the compressor's running, I'm running 48 watts. I've topped out at 48 watts while the compressor's running. When this compressor kicks off, it's going to drop dramatically. And what super is impressive is how long it goes between the compressor needs to be kicked back on. I'm kind of going to give you guys a rundown on the numbers, but I promise you that this compressor, after it reaches the current temperature, will kick on for about 3 to 5 minutes every 3 hours. Now, you can take that with a grain of salt, you can take it with a wine, you can watch other videos, you can buy one and test it yourself. The way I figured it out to keep my stuff cold off a little 240 watt Jackery, once this temperature has been reached and it cools down, it's down to my 35 degrees, I should be running this at no more than 70 watts in a 24-hour period. If that makes any sense, that means this little 240 watt Jackery is going to run this thing for almost 3 days. So anyways guys, let's keep on going here and we'll see how long it takes. Okay, exactly 20 minutes. 20 minutes and it dropped to 34 degrees Fahrenheit from whatever was at 73. No watts being used. I'm at 94%. It took a little bit of a kicking to get it down to that temperature. Now what we're going to measure, guys, like I just said, what we're going to measure now, it is 12:05. I want to see how long this is going to sit before the compressor kicks on again. Remember, this is a variable. I'm in about a 75 degree climate right now. I'm not in the back of a 100 degree car. But this is just a test. So it's not running, compressor's off. Let's see how long it maintains this temperature before the compressor has to kick back on. By the way, guys, I didn't even know the compressor's on or off until I put my hand on it because you feel a little bit of a vibration, so stay tuned. Okay, here's the thing, guys. It was at 40 degrees. It's still at 40 degrees, back and forth. 2 hours and 23 minutes. It went from 34 degrees to 40 degrees. 2 hours and 23 minutes. I figured it was more like 3 hours. The Jackery, it had just kicked back on. The compressor kicked back on. It's not using as much power now because it's maintaining a cooler temperature in there. It's not going to take as long to cool down. So you're using 37 running watts on this thing. So 2.5 hours. It took 20 minutes for this to cool down, and then it comes on about every 2.5 hours. Very efficient, guy. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, I can show you guys, I can drop it down to freezing. How long will it take to go to freezing? By the way, I forgot to mention on here, there's a max mode, which means it'll cool things rapidly, or there's an eco mode, if you're really trying to conserve battery life, it'll cool things slower. But guys, an incredible unit. This thing's hovering, it just came on now. It's gonna drop down again once the compressor gets going. It's gonna get cold, and it's gonna keep your food cold or frozen, whatever you want. So just, pardon the pun, guys, but food for thought. If you're someone like into glamping, someone who's gonna get into car camping, because you're sure as hell not gonna tow a trailer across the country right now or wherever, it's too much for gas. If you're into overlanding, this thing can run at a 45 degree angle. Just if you want it around the house for day trips, plug it in the back of your car when you go to the beach, when you go to the park. If you're someone like me that's a little bit into emergency preparedness, I can run this off my solar indefinitely to keep stuff cold and keep stuff frozen if in case an emergency happened. Good investment, guys, if you can afford it. Domestics are nice, but they're overpriced. This company is well known for their automotive products and refrigerators. Check them out. I got mine on Amazon, but I'm sure you can find it elsewhere. Anyways, guys, Not a question if this shit's gonna hit the fan, it's a question of when. So just always be prepared. Okay guys, just a side note on the freezer part of it. So this is 27 degrees Fahrenheit, so -5 Celsius, I'm guessing. The compressor kicked off about 10 minutes ago. It does use a lot more juice. Now, just doing the math in my head roughly, if you wanted to run this 24 hours on a freezer below freezing, 24 hours straight, it would probably be around 450 watts. Granted, when I give you these numbers, you're not going to be running this straight unless it's in a very hot ambient temperature, like in the back of a car when it's over 100 degrees or something. Most places you won't. The compressor will be kicking on and off, but max use, I'm guessing, is going to be around 450 watts to run this for the freezer continuously for 24 hours. My solution to this, guys, I think what I might do is just to help it easier if I'm in a car, is I'm going to go to my local Costco business center or a restaurant supply place, and I'm going to buy one of those big delivery bags that are insulated to keep stuff either hot or cold. And I think I'm just going to, when I throw this in the back of my car, it's going to sit in one of those bags just to help it. Anyways, guys, that's it. That's all I got to say about this.